Now we are going into space on a journey among stars, and because this is Fearfest, I think you already guessed that this is going to be a little bit dark and grim trip, but thankfully I have a companion with me. Please welcome James from Fallen Leaf Studio, the studio responsible for the great looking upcoming game called Solis. Hi James, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Your game is like I said, it's set in space, and it's not quasi horror game. It's more of a thriller, psychological game that is heavily focused on story, on psychological aspects. I heard that this game is going to be made in Master Shot, without any cuts, like a God of War game, and I think this is a very challenging thing. Why did you decide to make this game in this style, and what was the biggest challenge?
So we have difficulties with technical challenges when we decided to do this, but we really felt that it encompassed, the immersion of the experience. We talk about thriller, we talk about, the performances of characters like, Troy Baker, Roger Clark. We wanted to capture those moments and the emotion of those moments in the scene. By doing that, we wanted to stay with one shot. We'd seen it done in bigger games before, so we thought, why not try it ourselves? I don't think the team were too impressed when I decided that was the way we wanted to go. But we have done it now, we have nailed it. So at this point, we're doing one master shot the whole game. That was the real reason. We wanted to just double down on that immersion and that experience that we were going to give to our audience. You always have to say to yourself, okay, but this scene needs to play into the next scene because we can't cut away. Mm-hmm. And then where do you put the camera to help with the gameplay? It is a big challenge, but like I said, I think it's a decision because when you play the game, you can play an hour, 2 hours, however long you're playing a session for. You don't realize how long you've been playing because it's so immersive. So I think we're getting closer to that. We still have a long way to go until next year when we release, but yeah, I think it's a really cool feature for us.
I guess that you got this question a lot, but I just need to ask you about it. Yeah, like you mentioned, you work with Troy Baker and Roger Clark. The cast is great, and how do work with such personalities look like?
Actually, it's really a humbling experience. It's really, it's really kind of a privilege to work with people like that who can bring so much to your material. Because when you write a character or you create a scene, something as simple as just an argument, there's a lot of different ways that can be shot. There's a lot of different ways, such things as body language, can come across, and they bring a lot to that. Troy has been fantastic with us in helping develop the scenes. Roger as well, who has a bit of a harder job because he's obviously a playable character, Jack. So he's a bit protagonist as well. So it's been absolutely an incredible experience to work with both of those. And Julia has really shined in her role as well, coming on to deliver a bit of a different kind of character to Jack and Troy. So it's been really great, and actually it's a real experience. But ultimately, I think all three of them coming together as a core cast really makes our experience, a great one, I think. Add us to your wish list. It would be great to see people's response to the game, what they think of the story, what they like, didn't like. Story's very personal. I would love for somebody to tell me the story wasn't to their liking, whilst others loved it. That's the kind of balance you want with a story, because at least then people care enough to have an opinion. Wishlist us. Come and join a roller coaster narrative experience. And I think, if you're into movies like The Thing, Alien, the first one, you're going to love Fort Solis. And I think we have a lot to show you over the coming months, which we hope to do. And I can't wait to share more with you.
Something is going on here. And I need to find out what it is.